All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou, and today is a big day. We are on episode 50 of Card Talk, the big 5-0.
It's the Frankie Louvu episode of Card Talk.
The what was that?
The Frankie Louvu episode of Card Talk.
Frankie Louvu.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was number 50.
Is that a Jets player?
He's been a random Jets player for the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh,
yeah, he is number 50.
So we've got to be coming up relatively close on a year.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Right, that's got to be
shy.
52 weeks in a year, you're not wrong.
You know, we took
a couple weeks off.
Yeah. So we've been doing this bad boy a little over a year now.
I think July, yeah. I think, or May something was our first one.
May. Had to have been May.
I actually thought it was later.
I thought it was July at first.
Jay, can you check on that? When was the date of
Well,
our
we
first
might have
episode?
snuck 1 or 2 emergency pods in.
Yeah, and we did all those doubles for the week of for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So we did some extras there. So yeah, it'll be cool. But either way, glad to have made it through 50 episodes.
Yeah,
Hopefully
major shout out to. It's been a blast.
First episode was 7/8. Yeah, it was July.
Got it. So we're not
1
at a
month.
year yet.
Because we record Tuesday morning, so this is June 8th. So we've got a month till our 1 year.
Remember Monday night recordings?
Yeah, 4:30.
I missed those. Those were great.
Yeah.
No, those aren't nearly as exciting. All right, but lots to talk about in today's episode. I know we're getting closer and closer to the National. Nets are going to win the NBA Finals, it seems, after last night's performance. We got Make a Play this week. We're going to bring that back, talk about latest launch, get into a few other topics. But, Ty, it looks like the first thing on here is going to be Babe Ruth. So I will let you talk a little bit about that sale.
Well, first and foremost, we got into it a little bit last night about, Babe's background.
You and Lou got into it.
Yeah, and
it's my guy.
Listen, we're not conspiracy theory guys, but the Babe was probably more Dominican or African American than not.
More than not, for sure.
It's kind of the word on the streets.
I don't doubt it.
I've never heard this in my life.
I hadn't heard it either. I called my dad. I don't call my dad for anything really, which is bad. But I called my dad, and he was like, "No way!" And I showed him a colored picture, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that he's Dominican, 100%."
Word is that's why they wouldn't let him manage after he retired, because he wanted to segregate everything, and they were like, or not segregate, desegregate. They were like, nope.
That's crazy.
And he played in both leagues for a little bit. So we were talking about the sale. What's the word on the sale? Is that was the collectible drama situation this past week? Yeah,
long and short, I'm sure everyone who's listening to this podcast probably knows, but if you don't, basically collectible listed a Babe Ruth for $6 million. They listed 1% of a Babe Ruth valued at $6 million.
Yep.
I
think it was 20,000 shares at $3 a piece.
Right, which would make it the most expensive card of all time. But there's a few caveats to it. The 1% part is the thing. The person who owns it still has 99% ownership of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the quote unquote controversy came from when there's no official sale of the card at $6 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they wanted to keep a lot of it private, if I understand right.
Yeah, the person who owned it had it in the Babe Ruth Museum. This person Y bought it for an undisclosed amount of money. Collectible has said it is over $5.2 million, making it the valuation currently $6 million. Because when you own what we were talking about in our text last night, once you own a card like that, the second you buy it, it's worth more money. So that's where that came
I don't think there was
I don't think there's ill
I
intent.
truly believe I don't believe that they were attempting to dupe anything, or I think that this run of records, and I think of right now the state of kind of the overall market being a bit down, which has definitely affected a lot of these fractional companies post raise. I think just some of the messaging and wording came off wrong of we just sold a $6 million card record. And then I think as well as the hobby can be vicious at times. Like if you step out of line on something,
Yes.
you're going to get buried. And I think it was a kind of large culmination of that. Did they list the 20,000 shares at $3 yet?
I believe they did.
I have no idea.
Do we know if they sold through?
I'm sure they did if it was listed.
Well, kudos.
I'm checking. Yeah, I think the point I want to make here, and this has been like, you don't think it was okay. So Jay said he doesn't think it was listed yet. Great.
I wasn't listed yet.
For that, then. I think the point I wanted to drive home, and everyone's now heard this from all sides of like, is it shady? Is it bad? Blah, blah, blah. The point I wanted to drive home, and again, what I said in our thread was like, there's not a lot of rules to the road on this, right? So number one, they are not under any obligation to show a public sale of $6 million. It is in the interest of the person who owns it to keep it private if they decide they want to do so. And the valuation is what it is. Like, there's not a whole lot to that. And I think that's the part where people are getting confused and angry, is because they're looking for some sort of reference point, and there necessarily isn't one for a card of that rarity.
And yeah, there's a lot of, I think, cynicism around moves right now because of we're seeing a lot of downturn in prices. And I think so then when you see that, it's like just trying to get you. And people make mistakes. And I think in this kind of a lot of records are happening, positioning, posturing.
It is
there's probably a little bit of miscommunication, along with just then being like, not true, that's not true.
Right. Yeah. I think, if Ezra came to us for advice, which he never in his life would, I would probably tell him they could have done a better job of making it clear there isn't a confirmed sale at $6 million and there's a private sale of over 5.2. They could have done a better job of making that more clear.
Yep.
Right.
Personally speaking, I know those guys. I like those guys.
Me too.
Going off that energy. So that's Babe. Great Bambino himself. Bigger fan of Yogi Berra, personally. Coming from, Montclair, but
he's from Montclair?
Yeah, Yogi.
I love Yogi.
He was a Montclair guy.
Yeah.
Playoffs. We'll talk a little bit about the NBA. We were just talking about that before. And then we're gonna have to dive a little bit into what we're calling alternative sports right now.
Pause for 1 second. I want to do two things. One, I want to get an update on NBA playoff predictions. I say that because I know that I still have two teams live, which I typically don't at this stage of the playoffs. So I'm feeling really good about that. And then on the alternative sports, I just want to make it clear that like we've been hardcore pro alternative sports from the beginning.
That's from the jump.
From the jump.
For a year now.
Correct.
I mean, okay.
I would love to know who we picked for the finals, because I do not remember. I think I picked Bucks Lakers.
You picked Bucks Lakers, I believe.
I picked Nets Clippers.
You did pick Nets Clippers and got, away by the hair on your chinny chin chin.
Let's not pretend that the fucking Clippers weren't like insane in Game 7. The Mavericks are horrible, but the Clippers were really good.
is horrible.
Yeah, Porzingis. Luka is amazing.
Yeah, Luka was by far and away the best player on the court.
Not even close.
I was talking to a buddy about this last night, and this is now starting to bubble. This thing where Luka can't make free throws is like a little bit of a problem. It's a little bit of a problem.
Buried in the comments by Kawhi people saying, "How dare you say that?"
I mean, Kawhi was amazing.
Kawhi was amazing.
Luka carried that. If Luka wasn't on that team, they wouldn't have been in the playoffs, yet alone in that series. It'd have been 4-love. They got swept.
Yeah.
But it's a real problem that he can't make free throws. I'm just going to put that out there. It's a concern.
It's a concern. You had Lakers, Bucks,
right?
Which it's looking like
not good.
Listen, you deployed all your chips on the Jokic MVP.
I'm more of like
pick.
an MVP rookie of the year predictor type guy. Not.
I'm going to be a year late with the Ryan Tannehill MVP.
Yeah,
he's going for it next year. But
it's crazy. Sorry, never mind. It's crazy how NFL picks get thrown around. Like a second round pick for Julio is crazy. Anyway.
And I'm pretty sure I had Bucks Suns, but then I navigated my way to Nets Suns.
You navigated your way to Nets Suns.
When did you navigate your way after?
I
Meaning
worked my
after
way-
the show, you decided to change it, and now
I
Jason's just gonna
worked my
run with
way
that.
through the conversation and landed on probably Nets Suns.
That's some bullshit.
But I think Lou had Nets.
I did have Nets clips, 100%. Got a lot of negative energy for that one because people don't believe in the
I hope
Clippers.
it's not the Nets clips.
Oh no, that would be terrible.
Why?
Terrible.
The two best teams.
Oh,
Clippers are boring.
put the Suns in there.
Thank you.
Suns Nets would be the. I mean, Bucks Suns would be better, but if the Nets gotta be there, don't make it the Clippers. Oh, that would be terrible.
I disagree.
I just want Devin Booker purple prism so bad. It's all I care about. I dream about it.
Booker had a very, very cool killer instinct game against the Lakers in that game 6.
He did.
Whatever it was.
He did.
Where he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
AD's hurt. I'm gonna literally attack him until they remove him from the game."
Yeah, and then they did. The 8 dropped 47. I think he's a bona fide star.
Yeah, but I don't think it matters at this point. After watching the Bucks get beat by 50 without James Harden, I mean, it seems like this is a wrap.
Yeah, I think Durant's upset, and he's letting it be known. I respect it. I think he's
A lot of hate
upset
on
about his KD, about the Chrome 10 price.
You think he found out?
Yeah, I think he feels disrespected.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think
What about Luca then? Was he also upset? That's why. He
there's a
won for
lot
50 every
more
game?
of them, and he hasn't been around
It's
as long.
more liquidity.
Yeah,
So he's not as
And
concerned.
he's
Right,
like,
right,
you know,
right,
look,
right.
a lot of people are, sitting on these things. But I think Booker he feels okay about where he stands right now because he knows a future in New York is ahead.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think this is the most sports conversation we've ever done on this show? Do you think it's more likely that you get Devin Booker or Dame Lillard? And then which one do you want more?
Booker and Booker.
Interesting.
Yeah, Booker and Booker.
You really think Booker's likely?
Yeah, I think he's likely.
That's crazy. But you
'Cause
also
he's
said that about
bi-coastal.
LeBron and KD and Giannis.
No, I didn't. No. What? Giannis? I never said Giannis is going.
Maybe
to
not
play.
Giannis, but I'm just naming every single
KD, I thought, and I think KD was kind of done deal.
Well, it's kind of confirmed that it was,
and then
right?
didn't
And then
Dolan just be the
Dolan
worst
fucked
guy
it up.
ever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dolan fucked it up.
Which respect, but now he just shits on us all the time, and I don't like it. It makes me sad. And then we were going to go from NBA playoffs, and we're going to talk about alternative sports. I literally can't go 24 hours without hearing someone talk about F1. Ryan, give us a little synopsis. You had a big trade night. The shop was buzzing.
It was busy.
Was there any F1 chatter?
Somebody ripped a box. That was
About
I wasn't on the floor as much. We had a bunch of people bringing stuff up to us. We got to buy, sell. We do a little buy, sell, trade. So I was a little bit more behind the counter, but I didn't see much of it on the floor. A lot of football. That's what I noticed. A lot of football. A lot of cheap LeBron slabs being moved. A lot of people looking for those. That's first year optics. There was some second year Prism stuff. A lot of LeBron slabs, but a lot of football.
Is his second year Prism black Heat jersey coming down the lane with his left hand?
Yes. Is it black jersey?
I think the 2012's red jersey.
It's the red jersey, the 2012.
But second year Prism is when they won 2013.
2012 Prism's a white jersey where he's standing
2012
up
Prism is the
tall.
white jersey with the white headband.
Yes.
Mhm.
2013 is the red Prism, is the red jersey.
Where he's
Coming down
driving.
the lane with the left, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great photo of LeBron.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. Just a lot of cheap LeBron slabs in general being moved. And then a lot of football. A lot of Burrow, Baker, Kyler, some Danny Dimes, some Tua, a lot of Hurts, just a list of QBs. That was a lot of my trend, was a lot of QB stuff. A lot of people asking for Trey and Luca though. Trey and Luca was another popular one. I was,
Do you think the demand has weaned, or did everyone just collectively agree that it was too expensive?
demand for the hobby or demand for somebody specific?
Trey and Luka.
Demand for Trey and Luca, which I think is a good barometer for hobby interest.
We don't. I mean, we sell a good amount of those guys. I mean, they're just like you talked about earlier. Like they're liquid, right?
You sell significantly more or less.
So we put out an article on 137 this past week. Shameless plug. And it's titled, "Is the card market softening?" The amount of cards, Trey and Luca specifically, that have been graded in the last 2 years, in tandem with the rise in the price, speaks volumes about the expansion of demand. And so, all things considered, for the price to be up over the last 18 months on those cards, in line with the amount of supply that has increased, is actually banana land.
That I think that's what I've started to think about is like I feel like demand hasn't changed. It's just everyone decide, or it hasn't changed dramatically. Everyone just agreed that it was too expensive, which everyone agreed on anyway. But then they just stopped trading at it.
Yeah, but like the multiples of even if all things considered, supply stayed the same and the price 4x'd, great. The price has like even from I don't know 2 years ago, 18 months ago. I hope I'm not butchering a lot of data. Ryan, gut check me here. But supply has like doubled, 3x'd, 4x'd, and prices have also increased down from the high. But if you put a baseline of like 2 years ago, supply and cost are both up.
Yeah, but is with supply being as high as it is end, are there enough end consumers
To maintain an increase in price? I'm not sure. But
The
I think you'll
velocity
find
of
a
that
healthy
price
floor.
increase, I think the velocity of the price increase isn't sustainable.
Yeah, in tandem with the supply increase. Because even so, like PSA opens back up, you're going to see more supply.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's my only concern is the prices a couple years ago when there was a fifth of the supply, agreed, aren't as high now. It's just do we really have 25,000 people interested in a Luka PSA 10? Maybe. But
Brian, what are your vibes right now?
Still on the two different kind of paths. You're going to see cards like the Brady, the Babe Ruth, those cards just go down a one path. And, a lot of the other more modern stuff we talk a lot about is going to be just a lot of the stuff you'll see at the National, a lot of stuff people still have interest in still trading. You're just not going to see the record sales aren't going to be on anywhere near on those cards. Those cards are just going to be, like daily trading for stocks. I mean, or just daily trading. You're just going to be passing them back and forth, picking up guys you'd rather have more, getting out of trade, getting into somebody you like more and just swapping those back and forth and just hoping one of those guys becomes a top 5 player. And then a lot of the Brady, Mahomes, like the super, super rare high end stuff is just going to keep setting records just because you're never going to see it.
So overall, you're positive. And you think,
oh yeah,
So what do you? The last 4 months, would you consider to be healthy or unhealthy?
It's healthy for the long term, right? Like we had like everything going up and making money on everything is not sustainable business, right? Like these cards have to come down. There are an infinite supply of a lot of these, right? Like if you want like a select Luka 10, there's 1,500 minimum listed on eBay. It's not like they're the rarest asset in the world. Like a LeBron James second year patch auto at a 10 is a lot more rare, right? Like the fact that they were so comparable in price is silly, right? I talked about this in November when I went to Dallas. I traded a Luka PSA 10 silver and an Mbappe base Prism 10 for the Rock rookie 10 that had a pop 30, right? You're talking about common cards for cards you don't see every day. Right. I mean, Brady, I picked up a Brady one absolute patch. They're like just things you just don't see. I feel good about the hobby, but I think there's going to be a little bit more separation between the rarity or the rare items and the not so rare items.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is it hasn't happened with the football stuff yet. Like I know Mahomes, it's happening now a little bit. It just started because I remember a couple weeks ago, Mahomes Prism 10s were like 10 grand. And then someone had a Contenders auto 9.5. And I think they wanted like 16 for it. And I was like, that delta makes no sense with where things are with base right now. So I feel like I don't know. That's why I keep going back to, I'm not sure how much of it is basketball related. Like basketball just being like, people just are tired of basketball.
Yeah, we lost Lou. I do agree that I'm as bullish about cards today as ever, because I'm more bullish than ever about the overall mix of alternative investing. And I think that cards entry point for so many people in that. And I think that got so many people into this game and overall hobby, as in like myself as well, that now people are enjoying it and saying, hey, where are other places to invest or that I might be interested in collecting? And there might be a bit of a departure from the masses in quote unquote cards right now, but I think that now they're in the game. And I think that some of these card shows, we're going to start to see more of, calls figure, or someone can sell an NFT at their table, or graded video game. And I think, to your point, those more premium, lower population cards are going to be more sought after, but there's also going to be a continuous marketplace for base Prism and all this stuff based on trade volume, based on what's happening in the game. It's still going to be solved. Obviously, Star Stock is doing a good job. ComC's like the older, more incumbent DJ in our chat is always just grinding these. Kevin De Bruyne, Future Stars, bought it for $1.18, sold it for $7.95.
Yeah, go ahead, Rye.
And I was just going to say, like, before we had this COVID buildup where the market was exploding for the last 18 months or 12 months, 14, whatever, like, people still were interested in guys going into the next season, right? Like, you bought Trae Young thinking he was going to be good. You bought, Carson Wentz thinking he was going to have a big year. Like, we still bought the guys that we anticipated were being good. Just the prices you're going to pay for them aren't going to be, the days of paying $1,200 for a base 10 of a guy that you think is going to be good in the summer before the season just isn't as likely anymore. You're going to be able to get that at an affordable price. You'll buy it. And then if they do something, it has potential to rise. Yeah.
More work is going to need to be done. I do think those opportunities are still going to exist.
Agreed.
Bogdanovich. They make another run in this playoff. There's people that have been stacking Bogdanoviches. Like, those opportunities, they might not be as few and far between, and they're probably not going to come with like these bona fide number one pick stars, because guess what? Everyone is interested in them. My dad just walked in. He just played a tennis match this morning, caught a W. Alternative sports are huge. French Open's going on right now. Novak Djokovic had an unreal W yesterday. Guy goes down 2 sets to love, 7-6, 7-6, to a dude who's playing in the French Open for the first time. And my dude was humming. Novak's like, this dude's a problem. I don't know what to do about it. Then my man went 6-1, 6-0, 4-0. The guy turned in the towel. It was a epic sporting match. One of the things that my dad always said to me was that sports are unscripted drama. That's why people watch. And I think that with more content, Netflix, F1, all this, big three basketball, 3-on-3 hoops is in the Olympics. The reason that NFL, NBA, NHL were what they were is because there was only so many pipes to be filled with content. Now, anyone can make anything about anything, and we're going to start to see that chip away. Then he popped in and said he had a stock, Clover Health, a meme stock that just exploded this morning. And I'm like, more alternative kind of different forms of investing that are happening. To me, there is still immense amount of opportunity in cards. That's my rant.
I agree. I think the thing that I get not worried about, but the thing I want.
Freaking Paul wore the fucking Charizard. What? Logan Paul with the BGS 10.
Yeah, dude. Like, I just want to say, the thing I worry about, I'm going to say worry again. It's not worry, but the thing I am concerned about losing is, like, I do think the low end is a really important thing for everyone to experience. If you want to be interested in cards, if you like investing, if you want to learn about entrepreneurship, anything like that, I do think getting involved in that low end is really important.
Do you think that, I've been noodling on this, do you think that grading cards, Ryan, you would have great insight into this, has become such a big part of the low end with it turned off right now? It has hindered the low end a little bit because raw transactions of low
Yes.
end aren't happening as much.
Mhm.
And so like, because you can't really get them graded or for the
Yeah,
price. And
100%.
so there's been less transfer
Yeah.
of those because it's not as liquid or active.
Because there's no upside.
There's no upside.
You pull a Justin Herbert, select rookie in the past, you're like, hey, I'll send this to PSA, cost me $25. I'll see it in 8 months and it'll be worth $200. And that is worth my time, right? You'll rip some boxes, you'll hit some Burrows, some Tuas, whatever you get a little stack of 10 cards together, you spend $250, you get them back in 8 months and you got $1,000 worth of cards. That does not exist at the moment, right? SGC has the option for, $29, whatever, less than $30 where you can get it but it's not the same as PSA, right? It's never gonna be. PSA is the premium. So you've got a little bit of upside there, but not everybody feels the same way about SGC as they do PSA, right? The market as a whole believes in PSA, and with PSA being closed, it's just the option to send in that stuff you pull from that blaster box or your base rookies from your box of legacy football with Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. There's just not the upside there was, right? And there's a lot of them. So it's just everybody is, it's just they're easy for everybody to get, and the ability to send it into grading not being there, I think has hurt a lot of that low end. But we've talked about it before. Is PSA bringing that option back? Like, does PSA want to grade $5 cards, $10 cards, $20 cards again? I believe the answer to be no, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens when they open back up. Hopefully July 1st.
I think that they will. But I do think that it's going to be a bit of a longer process. And to your point, the 8 months, or you can pay.
You think longer than 8?
No, but 8 months is a good chunk of time too. I mean, that's an entire season.
100%. Yeah, there are, subs back that, take 10, 9 to 10 months now even. I mean, longer than 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
but that's what got them in this spot now.
Mm-hmm.
PSA opens back up at $25. They will get flooded with cards.
Well, it's what fueled. The thing is, when they were getting flooded with cards, the expectation was still 2-3 month turnaround time.
2-3 month turnaround time and 4 to 5 extra money without even thinking about it.
And that 4 to 5x money then was being poured into other things that was rapidly increasing.
Yeah, it was a little bit cyclical. I do think if they made it clear that like this is going to take a while, I think that would keep things under control, right?
Because if I'm a
no
14-year-old, if I'm 14 and I'm trying to grind right now, it's tough. You used to be able to get a box. Your parents get you a box for whatever. You and your buddy would go half, rip some things, grade some things, make some coin.
Those days are back.
Right now, or they will be back?
No, they're back. Box prices are way down. It's not just single cards that are down. Box prices are down.
I know, but I'm saying they're down because people can't then pull the card and then grade it.
Yeah, but me and Ryan,
that's not nothing new though. Like it's not supposed to be easy. When I got in it wasn't just grade a card, get it back in 8 months, and make $500. You've got to put in the work, right? We got soft. Yeah, you get to rip some blasters and grade a bunch of cards and make $1,000 in 6 months because PSA gives you 10s. Are you kidding me? Respect. You got to go through dollar boxes and $5. It takes time. It doesn't just happen overnight. That's where it's like
grind.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, it's like a 14-year-old kid struggling because he can't grade a bunch of cards and make $1,000. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's the whole thing where people are like, it's all dead, and it's like you can't just follow an exact blueprint. You have to find something new to do, and people don't like doing that.
Yeah,
I agree with Ty's point earlier. Like, there's a lot of opportunity if you do your work. Like, it's not meant to be the easiest thing in the world, but it's also meant to be enjoyable.
That's the most
if
important
you're
part.
able to have it be enjoyment. It's like, again, the 8 years with Gary now is like, there's so much reprogramming of money and work and happiness. Most people are built your whole 16 years, first 16 years of your life, or 20 college, is you have to do something, and it probably should be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
School, like homework, grades, like all of it. You rarely find someone that's championed for like really liking ceramics and getting an A.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
if they do, they're not that good.
We'll talk more about this in a future episode, but for
That
time's
was
sake,
fun. That was we get a little action right there.
for
Ryan said we're
time's-
getting soft.
Yeah, that was great.
I just okay.
Ryan,
You're
no, I
right.
fully agree. But one of my favorite parts about your personality that I don't think you fully acknowledge, but is there, is that you're low key like a youth baseball dad inside your brain, and you're like, we're getting soft, and it's like, what?
God damn.
I love you, Ryan. I
Sliced
really do.
oranges and Gatorade.
I love Ryan.
Old fashioned H2O.
All right, so we're going to get into Play of the Week. Again, Play of the Week is brought to you by eBay, your number one stop for all things cards and collectibles. All right, so Jay fielded some plays this week, and we have a ton of them. Looks like people had a busy last week or so, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of responses Jay sent over. So
Real quick, you know what I liked last week?
What?
When we had the little, like, the Instagram messages in the little corner there. I was a big fan. Thought it was a nice little touch.
Where were they?
I don't remember.
They're right below Tyler's name right now. They had
Was
them
that in post production?
Yeah, it was in post. It was in post.
Oh,
It was
I was
just
like,
see
I
that
didn't
again,
see
Jay?
that.
It was a sneaky little thing in post. I was a big fan.
That's a good job. Are we
Yeah.
going to do that again? How are we getting into these?
I don't know. Right?
All right, so there's a whole bunch of them on here. Let's see. Have you guys looked at any? I think this is one because this is relevant. So shout out to Kelly Cards with a K and a Z on IG. It says turned a $3 Julio Jones rookie into $17, which is $9.85 profit after shipping. Obviously, I'm sure you guys saw that trade this weekend. Tyler's Ryan Tannehill pick, like you mentioned, a year early with A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, and Julio Jones. If Tannehill could be any decent at all, the Titans are probably 1A, 1B, one of the top couple teams to challenge the Chiefs in the AFC. So shout out to Kelly Cards for flipping a little Julio Jones action.
I like that. What do you think about? We talked about this 100 times, the receiver thing. Like, I feel like Julio. I don't know if I'd be a buyer of Julio right now.
I like the all-time guys, the rare stuff of the all-time guys, because it is
an all-time guy.
He's probably top 10 wide receiver all time.
Top
10 all time Julio Jones. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Okay. I don't doubt you.
But like I picked up when I was in Dallas, I picked up that Calvin Johnson SP Authentic on card patch rookie auto for less than $400. Like,
yeah, that's really good. Maybe I need to look into the rare stuff more then, because I feel like, I can get pumped about a Calvin Johnson SP Authentic.
Like, it's a cool patch. It's really, really nice. And I'm like, what are you getting for $400 of Mahomes?
Yeah.
A PSA 10 playoff base rookie? I mean, no, that's probably more than 400.
Not even. What the hell is going on with this cat? Hang on.
So that would be my thing. Is I think
being ridiculous.
I think they're cool because of the value. Ty, did you see any on this any of this list that stood out to you?
Let me look.
Tyler, what about this one?
Another one? Yeah.
You'll know a little bit about this. So it's from Austin Cards. It says 2006 Panini Candy Soccer Display. Messi and Ronaldo rookie stickers. Love your work, guys.
Say that one more time.
It's from Austin Cards. It's OSTON. It says 2006 Panini Candy Soccer Display. It has Messi and Ronaldo rookie stickers.
Yeah, that's the green ones. The green card.
Yeah. It's the one that has the Zlatan Beckham joint. Yeah.
Don't know much about them.
They're rare.
They are bad, but what I worry about at times in these spikes and then dips is, and to your point, I respect it because doing the work. To me, when you say you got to innovate, you got to try different things, I think about our boy Roberto Galvez all the time, who is set up with us. Like, there's always another move to be made, and I think about that with these candy joints. And what I worry about is, it's like when you find a new pocket of gold, or they found gas in Pennsylvania, and it's like, okay, one person finds it, boom, it gets crazy. And then people kind of ape into it, and everyone's buying these latons at prices. And then it takes a long time for it to be accepted or understood as like a real legit card.
Yeah, they don't just happen typically overnight.
Yeah, but prices can skyrocket quick, and then it's like people get into it, think it's very rare, but then over time there's just an infinite amount of supply, and people buy it and grade it and buy it and grade it, and it just chips away. So as a collector, do I believe this Zlatan, Beckham, Ronaldo candy card is fire? I do, because it's those three guys, legendary. The three people on a card thing is kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do I care at all about Messi and Ronaldo's stickers from that set? I don't, because the only reason people, I think that they matter is because there's low supply, and I think sometimes that can be a BS.
The quote unquote low pop thing,
like
is
pop one.
It's a very self-fulfilling. It's extremely self-fulfilling.
I get it, because no one cares about the card.
No one's graded it before. That's why it's low pop.
Yeah.
I wanted to point one out here. The J Hill, it's from Jack_Kraus. J Hill Prism White Sparkle of 20. So this guy, I think his name is Jamal Hill. Yeah, it's it might not be Jamal. Something with a whatever. J Hill White Sparkle out of the Prism set that just came out recently.
UFC.
Yeah, he's the opening fight on the main card, light heavyweight. I think that's a very cool play as like a rare UFC newer card. If this guy wins his first fight, I'm pretty sure it's his UFC debut. Like, that's a sneaky play. I'm a big fan.
Can we talk about these Prism White Sparkle packs?
One of my favorite things.
Newer-ish thing?
No.
They always do them?
Yeah. They're really cool. They're extremely hard to get.
Because they sell out?
Yeah, sometimes... they're mostly for Panini points.
Yeah, you get them in the app. That's the whole thing.
They're typically one of the better things you can buy with Panini points.
You can only buy them with Panini points?
Sometimes they've done catch release, but most of the time they're just straight Panini points. That's all you can buy them with. That's why like Panini rewards points will have spikes. It's like a chart. It's like they sell for this, and then boop, everybody wants them. Then back down. Then boop, everybody wants them. So the time to buy them is when not everybody's paying attention to them, and then...
Yeah, I have a ton of Panini points in my account because I got like I think it was 5,000 Panini point one. Is that right, Rye? Does that sound right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it was a higher one. People were like pumped when I opened it. And I missed the White Sparkle release, but that's what I was going to buy with it. So I'll probably...
Because I saw I was going to say EPL, but then I remember us getting dusted in the comments for saying the word EPL.
But then he said,
yeah, exactly. I was like,
it's fine.
Man's my guy. He's always in there first or second comment. And then he buried me with, hey, I need you to start using the right soccer terms. I was like, what? It's proper football. There was a nice sparkle pack. I tried to make a play on those, but I got buried by bots or just people with more passion.
Shout out to our guy. Shout out to our guy Yamwax for buying a 1998 Steve Jobs and a 2004 Steve Wozniak rookie cards.
I respect the Apple game. Big Apple guy. Bezos is going to space though.
Does Bezos have cards?
Yes. I've seen them.
Interesting. What about one of one card shop? Herbert Kaboom PSA 10.
Kaboom has been one of the...
Kaboom's been hot.
It's been one of the few things that's still maintained growth throughout the last few months.
I knew it cold. We should have our Kaboom guy on.
Our Kaboom guy?
You know the Kaboom guy.
They got
the guy
at all the shows with all the Kabooms?
Wait.
The Kaboom guy.
I'm talking about a different Kaboom guy than you are.
The guy who sets up at the shows that we've known since the initial national that we
Yes,
went to.
that guy we can have on for sure. I thought we were talking about our Kaboom guy.
Oh, our Kaboom guy?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Kaboom guy. Like, I bought the gold Neymar from him. I think G got the gold Messi or the gold Mbappe off of him
Yes.
at National 2019.
So shout out to Porco_sports cards. This is a card I think is cool. 0506 Upper Deck The Cup. Sidney Crosby signature patch rookie auto out of 75.
Gas.
Definitely a guess.
Hockey. I think people sleep on hockey.
And then all the best collects with another cool play. It says picked up a 2018 Pulisic Kaboom last Friday, just in time for the big game winning PK.
That game was crazy.
Wild.
Did you see any of it?
I saw a lot of it after. I didn't watch it live.
It was like,
I saw a lot of water bottles being
bro,
thrown
it
around.
was the whole thing was crazy. The Mexico the manager, he got a red card because there was VAR going on, and he goes over and puts his arm around the ref and starts watching the VAR with him. The dude turns on and hits him with the red.
The Pulisic goal was sick too.
Oh, he buried it.
Buried.
The PK, I mean, he buried
And then the
it.
backup goalie with the save.
Bro, the whole game was just madness after madness.
I'm one of the first people to say that I'm not the biggest soccer guy. There are few things that can match a huge soccer play. A huge PK. That save was like insane. Like if that's in a bigger
Crazy.
spot, it could be
Oh.
huge. Yeah, there's a few things like it for sure.
Pulisic scores, takes his shirt off, runs to the corner where all the Mexico fans are, hits him with the They just start ripping digs. Gio
Reyna
Reyna
got,
gets
like,
hit
hit
in
in
the
the
head. He
dome.
goes down. Oh, it was great. It was great. The ref was like, just get me through this thing. He had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, that
Man,
was.
I
They
love
said like
hockey.
Mexico had won the last 6.
Yeah, we've been getting buried by them. And we were down 2-1 late.
When they scored 60 seconds in, didn't they?
Yeah. 70 seconds in. And then
Didn't someone-
went up 2-0 and it was VAR, pulled it back.
Didn't someone good get hurt? Like someone young on our squad?
The goalie.
Oh, the keep.
No, I
Bangs
thought somebody
came
young
out with his
got
knee,
hurt.
Zach Steffen. I don't think so. Gio Reyna.
Didn't Reyna get hit in the face?
Yeah, he got hit in the
I-
face.
With a bottle.
Oh, well, yeah. But
Oh.
if we're being honest, the replay shows it was like one of those plastic Coca-Cola cups.
I get it, but like
It
if
might
you
have
get
been filled
smacked
with
in
some
the
ice.
face
Like, I
with
get
a-
it. I think maybe it's a little bit more nervous. Sometimes
I'm
just getting
gonna-
hit in the head, you initially are like, I might be dying.
I'm gonna hit you in the face with a plastic Coke bottle at the
That's-
National, and we'll see how you respond.
More of a
no.
3-day
I'm
deal.
talking about one of the cups, bro. A wax, not a bottle. I'm talking about like a soda cup with a little bit of ice in it.
Oh, wait a second.
The tape might not be kind to it.
Interesting. Interesting.
All right. So I think that's all we got this week for Play of the Week. Hopefully we'll get some more next week. But Play of the Week is brought to you by eBay. Again, your number one stop for all things cards and collectibles.
I think
So
next
as-
week we should bring back the real play of the week. Just saying.
I agree. Jay.
Agreed. So guys,
That is my
if you
story.
want to submit a real Play of the Week, one of the ones that we've done in the past, where you guys give us a little explanation, show us when you bought it, when you sold it, all of that, IG or Twitter, it's at Card Talk Pod. Tag us on there, shoot us a DM. Jason will go through all of those, but we want to get as many as we can next week. So do us a favor, reach out to us on Twitter or IG, again at Card Talk Pod.
I make a pledge to you two right now that next week I will come back from the Philly show with a play of the week.
Wait, you're going to Philly to the Philly show
I am going to the Philly show
this weekend?
this weekend, Valley Forge Casino.
Saturday?
Really nice place, according to Ryan. Yeah, Saturday, 9 a.m. Right now.
You were rolling down with the boys or what?
I'm going to roll Dolo, but my boy who lives in D.C. is driving up to meet me there.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
All right, so last for this week is latest launch. So we've got a couple things coming out this week, but
Big one
Including-
for me, I think, right?
so there's a couple things I think you'll like. You've got Prism Draft Picks Collegiate Hobby Football, right? So another Prism
Jay's favorite set.
product with college. Love that. You've got Leaf Ultimate Draft Football. You have Series 2 Baseball Hobby and Jumbo, right? And then 2 up ties, Allie, including Topps UEFA Champions League Chrome Soccer and Upper Deck game used golf.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Wait, Ty. Topps Chrome. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Topps UEFA Champions League Chrome Soccer comes out this week. Finest is next week. So yeah, Topps Chrome is this week. And then game used golf. 2 up Ty's alley.
This was National 2019 pickups. Louis, remember how much of this we were ripping at National?
Oh my god.
Sancho and Felix galore.
Oh my, everywhere.
And then we got some Gary V stuff in here.
Yeah, the one box of that I ripped, I got a foil Tatis out of.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We got 2 of these
And a
joints.
10.
I'm pumped for Champions League. I'm really excited about it. Do you know what it's gonna retail at?
So it's currently being sold online for $6.89 a box.
Oof.
I think I'm most excited for Prism Draft though. More college football.
Yeah.
College football in on that. Again,
Mosaic Euro should be cool, no?
Mosaic Euro should be cool. People have been enjoying this Chronicles that's
Makes
out.
sense.
People are popping open.
Makes sense.
Haven't had a chance to snipe in on any of that just yet. I do got to say, I am backed up. And I've mentioned to you guys a couple times, maybe the live is tonight, but I'm due for an IG live where I open about 15 packages of cards that people sent for the 137 collection. And I make a promise back to you, Lou, because you made a promise to us
I love when we make promises to each other.
that we're going to get that going. And I've slacked for the people.
Yeah, I want to see some of them are really. I saw a really cool Pokemon one that was 137.
Polygon?
Might have been the Polygon.
I think Polygon. Yep. Brian, do you have a promise to make?
do I have a promise to make?
You made a promise last night, actually.
Yes, I did. Yes,
You did. And I
Promise.
respect
I will follow through with that promise.
it. The promise was to bless the boys with a little CC2 merch.
Today is 50 days until the national.
Let's fucking go.
So I think
Let's
that's what
go.
we'll end this week's episode with. 50 days until the national. By the time you hear this, 49 days till the national.
Also, we have collectively moved the energy needle closer to attending Dallas, potentially an Atlanta Dallas combo situation.
I've never been to Atlanta. Just putting that out there.
Home of Coca-Cola
I love Coca-Cola.
and Marvel Comics Studios and Tyler Perry
Anything else, or can we go?
and George. All right, cool.
All I got, guys.
Peace.
Peace.